2 of 2025. As you know, last week we talked about winners win the first quarter. And without a doubt, our guest speaker today absolutely crushed every quarter of 2024 and is on track for that in 2025. I'm so excited to introduce you. First and foremost, welcome. If this is your first time to RocketFuel, my name is Amy Youngren. I am one of your hosts. We are United. This is United Community. RocketFuel is a weekly mastermind that we run every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern time. Many of us are with Real Broker Community, but I don't know whose meeting agenda we are looking at, but maybe not. We could just, yeah, I don't know what just happened there. But whoever has shared their agenda, they are super organized. What was I saying? Oh, I was going to say we are with Real Broker, but this mastermind, as you guys know, it is open to every agent, every team leader from every brand, every brokerage. And we're so happy that you joined us today. Welcome to everybody. We've still got more people in the waiting room. We're going to keep letting them in. Okay. You guys are in for an awesome session today. Rachel, thank you so much. Rachel just is somebody that I've known in the industry for such a long time. I'm so honored to have her here today. You guys, she did many transactions, but she did over 100 deals alone in 2024 that were referrals, specifically from the relationships that she's built on social media, and a very, very specific and strategic process in order to generate them. I'm so honored that she's my guest today. A little bit about Rachel, you guys. She is a top 1% realtor in California. She is a team leader. She is a social media and business coach. She is a wife. She is a mom to 3 young boys. They're all under the age of 5, right, Rachel?
Yeah, 5, 3, and 2.
5, 3, and 2. And in 2024, you guys, she lost 55 pounds through an entire process on healthy eating and exercise without crazy restrictive dieting. My question for you is, all of us, is what is our excuse? This woman is an absolute superstar. We spent a little bit of time on the phone yesterday, and I hung up just feeling so fired up. I texted her last night. I was like, you inspire the heck out of me. So Rachel, thank you so much for being here today. I'm excited from you.
Yeah. Will you grab me a coffee?
Yeah.
And my world does not work without this lovely man who brought me food this morning. And where's your head?
I'm running away.
He does not like social media like I do, but he's the magic sauce behind everything that I do. He literally, I'm back to back today. So I was like, oh crap, I don't know how I'm going to eat breakfast. And then it just appeared on my desk and I was like, oh, lovely.
What a man. What a man.
I know, tell you what. Okay. I'm so excited for today. Thank you so much for having me. I already feel like your guys' energy is so good. And I love that there's 105 of you on here with cameras on and you're ready to do the thing. And if you feel like you can't have your camera on because you haven't showered today, just for the record, I didn't shower all weekend. I only showered today for you guys, but usually this is all dry shampoo and a whole facade. So, we just do it.
You have a reason to not shampoo when you have 3 kids under the age of 5.
I know. Okay, so do I share screen? Are we just ready to jam? What's the plan?
Yeah, let's go for it. I got to make sure that you got share. Yeah, you can share your screen. And I have the link that you gave to me to when you're ready. I'll share it out to everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So what she's going to share with you guys. So I actually have an 8-hour class that I teach live, and then I have an 8-week social media course that people can take online. And one of the handouts that I do when I teach is I gave it to Amy. So you guys can print this out after the class and you can take notes, but it's just a really good guide for you to figure out how you're going to kind of strategically build this business through social media, and give you some of the tips and tricks that I do in my 9-step social media model. So she's going to go ahead and share that with you guys in the chat. Go ahead and copy it, print it out when you're free. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
And guys, we want to make sure that this delivers exactly what you're looking for. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Rachel, you're open to that, while you go through, if people want to ask questions.
If I do a ton of questions while I'm going, it'll get me off track. So I'll probably do Q&A at the end, if that's cool.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, absolutely.
But if you guys have a question, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget it, put it in there. And then like we'll go through your questions,
Sounds
but I
perfect.
like it interactive because I want to actually like chat with you and hear what you're doing. So I do like to kind of hear what's up in your world.
Love
Um,
it.
okay, cool. So let's talk social, friends. I'm so stoked to be here. I've known Amy forever, and I feel like we've kind of grown up in the industry together and gone through our highs and lows. And so it's been really neat to see her just accomplish all she has, and I'm super proud of her, as I'm sure we all are, because she's so awesome. And I'm stoked to be here. Let's get into it. All right. So she kind of gave you my quick bio, but in my words, those are my cute little fam bam on the right side of the screen. So that's Henry, Harrison, and Hayden, and my super hot hubby that I met on Tinder, Ryan. So swipe right. If you need help with your online bio, I've got you. It's like one of my strengths in life is helping people find their soulmate online.
I did
So
it too. It worked.
yes, it does. It does. Which one was yours?
I did Bumble.
Bumble. Okay. Well, I like because you have like control with that one. I was Tinder. You just swipe right and you like hope that it goes well. All right. So I got into real estate in 2012. So I got in 2012. My grandma was a realtor. My dad was a realtor. I was like, I'm never ever doing this. I don't know if there's any other real estate kids out there. Um, but I think a lot of it was like my dad missed events. He missed dinner because he was always doing showings. And I just remember being like, well, I don't want that life. And he was a really good dad, but he just missed stuff. And so when I decided that I was going to go into real estate, I was like, I'm only going to do this if I can do it differently and on my terms, you know? And so thank you, baby. Um, no, that's my rocket fuel. Just kidding. It's decaf. This is, oh, by the way, I don't drink caffeine. This is how I am normally. So can you imagine if I did drink caffeine? I just like the routine of like how it tastes. Um, so I got, yeah, 2012, I get into real estate. I was managing a real estate office and was unlicensed. And I was at that point in my life, I was in a super unhealthy marriage, paycheck behind a paycheck. And I just remember like crying myself to sleep every night. And I'm like, there has to be more to life than this. And I decided that I was going to jump into real estate. And I did an accelerated program. I got licensed in 90 days. And my first year was freaking brutal. Like I door knocked 200 doors every single week, and I did 3 open houses every single week. Um, I will say, like, the reason I did that is I wanted to change my life. And I was stuck in this space of doing the same thing over and over, and nothing was changing. So the only thing that I could change was me and my actions. So I knocked 200 doors every week, did 3 open houses every week, and I didn't sell any houses for the first 4 months. So you can imagine that amount of lead gen and no results. I cried on the floor in my garage. I questioned my life choices. I borrowed money from everybody I knew because I was so behind financially. But even though I didn't sell any homes those first 4 months, I sold 39 my first year, and then 109, then 123 the third year. And, you know, people are always like, what kept you going? And it was like why I was doing it is like I wanted to change my life. I wanted to change my financial future. I was in a very unhealthy marriage and I was like there has to be more to life than this, you know? And so I just kept going, and when I was like, "Oh, I don't want to knock any more doors." I'm like that next door is my next listing. That next phone call is my next buyer. And so even though I didn't see those results, what I found happens is like it's like these small, good, consistent choices add up. And I was like obsessed with script practice, which I'm so happy to come back and do a if you guys want script practicing, like I found a way to make it sexy and fun. I actually really like script practicing. So
Ooh, let's take you up on that.
yeah. So I got obsessed with script practice. I am then and now completely obsessed with my schedule. I really do follow like a really tight schedule. And I got really intentional with who I surrounded myself with. So life's been really crazy. I've been licensed now for February will be 13 years actually that I've been in real estate. I run a team. I've had huge teams. I've had small teams. And I partnered with an organization called Place, which I'm really proud to be a part of. I get to coach people all around the world on how to build a business through social. I love systems. Yeah, I lost 55 pounds when I decided I was going to take charge of my health, but I was like, I still need to have a cocktail and eat carbs. So like, let's make this real. And I've got 3 kiddos. Okay, let's talk social. So, um,
Love it.
I got really into social media because like when I decided, I've always wanted to be a wife and mom. Like that was always my thing. And I'm like, how can I build this business, but still, like, like be able to be a present mom and enjoy what I'm doing. And doing, knocking 200 doors and doing that many open houses every week, it would not be feasible with a newborn. So I had to find a lead generation lever that I could turn on when I wanted to work and turn off when I didn't, but that would continue to pay me forward. And so I decided to really start to focus on social media. And my first year when I did, I got 17 referrals through social. Then it was 30, then it was 50. Now we're consistently about 100 referrals through social. Now I did start my business on Facebook. And then when I got that dialed and figured out, I launched Instagram, and then I launched YouTube channel. I think there's a lot of pressure. Like you're like, oh, I have to have TikTok and Snapchat and Twitter and like all the things. And you're like, and there's this pressure, like we feel that we need to be everything to everyone all the time. But the reality is all that's going to do is freaking burn you out, and it's not going to work. So I decided that I was going to be really intentional on really focusing on one platform and then moving on to the next one. I got it dialed. What I love about social is like, so door knocking, I love that belly to belly. I do really still like the one-on-one connection, but with social media, I can talk to thousands of people with the click of a mouse, you guys. But it's like, what am I saying? What is my message? How am I going to connect with people out there? And so I got really into the algorithm, and I was like, I'm going to figure this stuff out. I cuss a lot, so I'm really trying not to cuss here because I don't know my audience if I'm allowed to cuss like a sailor, so I won't do that to you.
No, you're good. You're good.
And so what I do though is I got really intentional with learning the algorithm. And the bottom line is like, your job on social is to either educate people or entertain them. You're either educating or entertaining. And if you're doing social well, you do a balance of both. And so I got intentional on like watching a post that I did or creating a reel and then seeing what happened. Bottom line is like, if you do well, you're going to get likes, comments, saves, and shares. You're going to get profile views. And your watch time is going to go up, and you're rewarded for the watch time you have on social. So what's super incredibly important is like, if you've heard that word, your hooks, like your hook that you have on social, your hook is the thing that gets people. So you actually have 2 seconds. I don't know if you know this, but if you're scrolling on social, you have 2 seconds to stop someone's scroll, which means what you're posting has to be highly important, shareable, make someone laugh, teach them something. You have to give them a reason to want to stick around, right? Because if you don't, they're going to scroll away. They're not going to engage. Your post is going to fail, and they're not going to show you interest. Last year, I got really intentional on growing my Instagram, and I had 11,900 followers. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But I also wanted to build my coaching business and my referrals. And so I was like, how could I increase this? So I got super intentional on like mastering the algorithm, creating reels, right? Your short under 90-second videos, which in reality, the ones that do the best are like 7 to 10 seconds. And now we're just about almost 38,000 followers. And it's not all about the follower count, but I will tell you that the more followers you have, the more opportunity you have to build community. And that's my thing. Like, I don't need 100,000 followers if I'm not getting any referrals and I'm not building relationships. I would rather have less followers, but like quality relationships and quality referral partners than more. I think people get super stuck on like, oh, I just have to get more followers and that's going to give me more business. Not true. Like, relationships are what does it. So our purpose here is to educate or entertain, right? And what you'll do, and what I would encourage you guys to do, is if you go on my platform, like, so if you go on Instagram, you're going to literally see, and she could put the link for you in my Instagram in the chat, would be awesome. But if you go to Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, it's all /Rachel Adams Lee. You're going to see that when you go through my content, whether it is a post or it's a reel, it has a hook. It has something that's going to stop your scroll and grab your attention, because my goal is to help people see what they want to see, right? So what I'm going to do with you guys over the next like 20 minutes here is we're going to talk about my social media model. Now, this is a 9-step social media model that I've created, and it does not matter if you're selling stocks or you're selling houses. This is going to help you build your business. Now, tip for you, if you are planning to build your business this year, if you want to do more deals in 2025 than you did in 2024, I want you to take a screenshot of this right here. You're going to take a screenshot of this, because the goal on social is to add value every single day to the people that are following you, because they're so much more likely to add value or to give a referral to you if you've helped them in some way. And that was my thing. Like, I was 26 years old when I got into real estate, and I'm like, why does everybody feel like we're used car salesmen? Oh, because everyone's like, look at how many houses I sold. Look at how fantastic I am. Look at my awards. I'm like, okay, but what if we're like, let's share the local pumpkin patch locations or the new ice cream shop that just opened, or, the Christmas tree lighting locations. Like, let's be the local mayor of our town, the digital. And now for me, it's like, I want to be the digital mayor of my town. Like, I want to be the person online that everybody knows exactly where I serve. And I'm constantly adding value to them. So when they get my email, when they see a post, they're like, oh, what's she up to now? And at the end of this, I'm going to give you guys some highly shareable content ideas for your market that's going to help get people want to share you. The reason you're going to take a picture of this is I'm going to give you a post that you're going to make on your social media. You're going to say, so you take a picture of this and on your social, and you can put it in your stories. You can also put it in as an actual post on your grid. You can say, got to learn from a top 1,000 agent today how she gets over 100 referrals every year through social media. Business owners, if you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below or send me a DM with your email. So business owners is other realtors around your community. It's local business owners in your area. And what happens is you're going to take great notes about this. And when you're the person who's constantly sharing something that's helping somebody else build their business, they're going to want to come back to you and say thank you. So one, I encourage you to take good notes. Two, take a picture of this and share it. Then you get to be the person adding value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig through this 9-step model with you and help answer any questions. Sorry, I'm getting people sending me your emails. Don't send me your email. I want you to post this on your page and ask your followers for your email. But don't feel silly because people send this to me every single time and I have no other way how to say it. Okay, step one. What are we talking about on social? So the first thing you're going to do is, like, every time I coach an agent, I'm like, okay, let's figure out what your actual pillars of content are. These are the 5 things that makes you unique on social. If you're taking notes, write this down. People might find you because you're in real estate, but they're going to stick around because of who you are and how you make them feel, friends. Who you are and how you make them feel. So you can only talk about real estate like 20% of the time. 80%, you're talking about other stuff. What makes you tick? Why somebody would hang out with you on the weekend? Maybe you like DIY projects. You'd write it down. Maybe you like hunting and fishing or traveling, or you clean eating and working out. Whatever your passions are, you're going to write them down. And that handout that I sent to you has a spot for you to do this little homework assignment. So what I want everybody to do is I want you to come up with 5 things that you feel define who you are as a person. And as you have them figured out, I would love for you to put them in the chat. If you're married and you have kids, I hope you like them. Like, write that down, because what you want to do here is you want to have things that are real, that are relatable, that are things that other people have in common with you, because people work with people they like, right? And they want to have things in common with you. I never in a million years would have thought that I would have shared my fertility journey. And I found myself after our second loss being like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Like, I'm super struggling. And so I opened up about our fertility struggles we were having. And I created this incredible support network and friendship around the country. And guess what? Some of them were realtors. And I would so much rather get and receive a referral from someone that I'm deeply connected to than like Joe Schmo on the internet who's tagging 50 people that aren't even freaking living in my area. You know what I mean? So if you guys are down, share your 5 pillars of content, your 5 passions. These are the 5 things that make you in the comment. And these are going to be the 5 things you would post about on social. And we'll talk about how you do that. Now, if you were to go to my platform, you would see that I talk about real estate and being an entrepreneur. You're going to see me talk about being a wife and a mama. You're going to see me talk about postpartum health and fitness. You'll see me talk about personal growth and like always being the best version of me. And then you'll see me talk about multiple streams of income. Those are the things that I talk about on social. And again, people might find me because I'm a realtor, but they're going to stick around because of who I am and how I make them feel. So truly, like, if you're on Instagram and you're going through my posts and my reels, you're going to literally see me go through those criteria. And what I do is, like, I actually have folders on Instagram. And when I see a reel that inspires me that I want to recreate and put my own twist on, I have 5 pillars of content. So I have 5 folders set for each one of these things. And I just simply save the reel and I put it in there, and then I can use it as inspiration later. Awesome. So we've got Mark says real estate, his kids, golf, motivation, health, and mental clarity. Not mental peace. Mental health is such a big topic right now. So I feel like that resonates with so many people. Foodie, love it. Yeah, your dog. This is so good. I love it, you guys. This is really helpful to get the clarity around what you're going to post about. And if you want me to slow down, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep jamming.
No, it's great. I have a question I want to ask you, but we can come back.
Do you want to ask it or do you want to come back?
No, well, I just was like, I was thinking about what you were talking about your like your fertility journey and your postpartum struggle and things like
Yeah.
that. When you get like really candid about something that is difficult that you're going through in your
Yeah.
life, how did you navigate that so it didn't repel clients maybe that are local where they're like, oh, she's not well or she's got something going on, so she's not in on her A game.
Yeah.
I think you
It's a
could
good
generate
question.
referrals easier that way because
Yeah.
people are, I don't know. I just like, I was thinking about that. Like, how did you manage to not repel local clients with that message?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that people really appreciate transparency. I think that everybody's out there showing this perfect life that they have, the perfect job, the perfect car, the perfect everything. I think they really do appreciate transparency. I don't believe in having like a victim mentality. So I'm not like, woe is me, all these horrible things are happening. But I was like, man, this is something that happened to me and I'm really struggling. And last week I went on a listing appointment and they had no idea what was going on, but I got the listing signed because my business still matters. So like you know what I mean? So like I find a way to pop it in that like no matter what, I'm still going to be on top of my business
Yeah.
and I'm still a human going through real stuff. And so I literally say that like my business, I still have a family to take care of and a business to run. And I've been struggling. So I wanted to share with you guys what's happening behind the scenes.
I
And
love
it
that.
never slowed my business. And not one time slowed my business. And what was interesting is like I would go on a listing appointment and I would do my whole presentation. And at the end, they would say, like, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. If I didn't know, I would never know. Like, how are you? And
Okay.
I would get the listing. And so I think like, I mean, I I think, like I heard this saying really early on in my career that was like, leave your drama at your door. And so I have gotten very good at compartmentalize, especially running my team. Like if I open that, I can't walk into my team and be like, God, I have so much going on right now. My world's hard. Like, cause that doesn't help my people. So I think it's about like kind of like compartmentalizing it a little bit when you're in front of someone. And then on social, like that is your opportunity to share who you are and what's going on. But I think there's a way to tastefully do it where it's not like, oh, what was me? This is so hard. Instead, it's like, this is what's going on. And I like to say to them, I want to tell you what's going on behind the scenes because everybody wants to know what's happening behind the scenes. And then they feel
Right.
like they're part of your in club
That's
and they're
such
like,
a
oh, I'm
great
here.
way. It's such a great way of positioning it. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
love that you said it's not victim mentality.
Yeah.
That's
Jill just said she shared about a miscarriage and unintentionally did the opposite of slow her business.
good. I
It
love that.
connects you with more people. Like, and again, truly, like people want to know you're real and that you have like a life behind like the listings. I mean, the realtors that are just like, look at my new listing, look at my open house. Like, you're going to get deleted and unfollowed because all you're talking about is what you do. People
Yeah,
care about who you are, you
yeah,
know?
love it.
Um, okay, number two, post first thing in the morning. So I am always asked like, when's the best time to post? And if you Google, the algorithm will tell you like, oh, 6:12 to 7:14 a.m. Screw that, you guys. Do it when you're ready to be on social media in the morning. But what happened to me is I used to grab my phone and the first thing I do is I'm in bed and I'm literally scrolling. First thing, I just start scrolling and I see like the mom that just made her kids handmade lunch and I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then someone else who's drinking their green smoothie and I'm like, good for you. And someone who just got off the treadmill and I'm like, I need to do that. And then someone else who just sold their 100th house and it's March. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind for the day. So you wake up and you already start to feel like crap about what you haven't accomplished. You just freaking opened your eyes. Like give yourself a break. And so I had to set some really good boundaries. So I like to prep my post the night before. I use an app called Google Keep. Somebody else, yeah, JR says he loves Google Keep. So Google Keep's a free app. I have my next few posts prepped in there, and then you can save your graphic in there too. So when I'm ready for social, I get on, I make my post. What I love about that is like I'm boom, my contribution is out there for the day. I am building my business through social. And then I can give myself like 15 minutes to scroll if I choose to, but I don't feel like I'm behind because I've already put my contribution out there. And remember, you're rotating between your pillars of content. So like you're constantly getting in front of the right people and building your audience and contributing, right? And then I give myself opportunities, which we'll go through of how I respond to people to wake up the algorithm.
Love it.
80/20 principle. So how much are we posting real estate? How much are we posting personal? 80% of what you post, guys, should be personal. It's who you are. It's what you're doing. It's what you're eating. It's what you're reading. It's what makes you tick. It's why I'd hang out with you. 20% is gonna be business. I think one thing I've learned is a lot of people have that flip-flopped and they talk mostly about business. And then when they come coach with me, they're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, because I don't know who the hell you are. All you're talking about is your houses you sold and you have these canned perfect graphics of your houses. The only person liking that is your mama. Like, let's build your business and connect with your community. And then people are like, okay, but do I need to have a personal page or a business page? I will tell you, you need to have both if you're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you need to have both, because if you Google Rachel Adamsley Realtor, my business page will come up, not my personal page, because that's where I can boost a listing. That's where I can do an ad, and Google loves your money. But my personal page, guys, all 100, so last year we had 133 referrals come through. All 133 came to my personal page. Not a single one came to my business page. But the business page is important on Facebook because you can get reviews and credibility there. You can set your business hours. You can brand it, which you'll see like the difference in my branding. Like my business page has my logo, has my headshot, has my, like everything's very different. Than my personal page has my kid's like cute little butt and his feet, right? Like you can see the difference because one is personal and one is business. On Instagram, you just need one. You need one page, and you want to make sure that you have a creator profile. So in your settings, you can have a personal page, you can have a business page, or you can have a creator page. You want to have a creator page as a realtor. Why? Because you get the most amount of trending audio. So when you're doing reels, you get the most amount of trending audio, and you get the best insights as a creator. You might be like, but I own a business. Why would I not want to have a business? A business profile on Facebook is like if you have a product, like if you're selling mugs or you're selling pens, okay? That's what a business page is more for. The creator page is you. Realtors are creators. We are creating content. We are creating opportunities. We are building wealth, right? So you want to have a creator page. If you switch your profile settings, it is going to give you a week in a slump of activity because the algorithm has to relearn your audience. So don't stress if you're like, oh my God, I did what she said. This is how it's supposed to work, okay? How much time should you be posting? So thank the sweet Lord it changed, because it used to be that we had to post 5 to 7 times a week to be relevant on social. Now it's 3 to 5 times a week. And that can be a healthy balance of reels and posts and carousel posts. If I was coaching you, I would tell you that I want you to do at least 1 reel a week, and then do 2 personal posts and 1 business post. So that's 4 times showing up on social. So if you were one of my clients, that's what I would tell you. 1 video, 1 reel, 2 personal posts, and 1 business post. Now I'll talk about it at the end, but I actually have a service that I've created called the Weekly Reels, where I actually create the reel for realtors. So that could be taken off your plate if you do need some leverage and you're like, I just want to do it, but I don't know how to do it. I can help you. How often should we be responding? So most people are like, they make their post, they're like, you're constantly on your phone. And I will be honest with you, like when I met Ryan, my husband, he was like every guy I dated before him was like, I want a strong, independent woman. And then they meet me, they're like, maybe not that strong, maybe not that independent. And when I met Ryan, he was like, I love what you're doing, and how can we make it even better? And I was like, oh, that's good stuff. But what he said
What a
to me,
guy.
he was like,
What
I
a guy.
know, he's so good. What he said to me though is he was like, babe, you're always on your phone. And I was like, oh, I know, but I'm a realtor. That's just kind of like par for the course of dating me. He was like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not going to work if we have a family. And I was like, oh shit, like, okay. And so I believe in being proactive with everything in my life. So we went and got marriage coaching on how to set healthy boundaries around my phone, because I want to make sure that the people who are a priority in my life feel like they're a priority. So what this looks like is this. I make my post. There's one step before this, but we'll get into it. So I make my post in the morning. An hour later an hour later after my post, I go in and I connect with everybody on social. I comment, I engage with them. I want you to think of the algorithm like tools. Okay. So when you say we're going to use Instagram, okay, or Facebook, either one's fine. When you make a post on social, so everything you can do on social media platform, you get rewarded for using it correctly. Make a post, comment, like, go live, send an audio message, send a direct message, right? All of those things are tools. The more tools you use on a platform, the more eyes them give you on your content. So if you make a post, that's a tool. And then an hour later, you go back in, you comment, like, engage. That's 4 things you've done on social. The algorithm is like, oh, she's doing something right. Let me give her more eyes on her content. Okay. And then an hour before the end of the day, I go back in and I connect with everybody again. So I'm on social 3 times a day. post, connect an hour later to wake up the algorithm, and then at the end of the day. I will go on social before I walk back in the door with my family because I do not like to have like yucky energy when I walk in. I want to be like off what I'm doing and be able to connect. Like we just sort of have a rule in our family that when you walk in the door, you know that kids are going to be running at you and like you're never on your phone when you walk through a door. That's just like a personal thing we do in our family. I want my kids to feel like they're my top priority. Um, don't post and ghost, guys. The purpose of posting is to get engagement. Susanna, I'm going to get to that in just a second. So, number 7, how do you lead generate on social? So people are always like, Rachel, I want to build my business on social, but I don't know how to do this. There are a few different things that I could get into, but I need like a few more hours with you guys. So what I will tell you is the easiest way to start to engage with your audience is there are people that you're already friends with who like your most likely referral is someone that you're already friends with that wants to connect with you, but they don't think about you in real estate because you're not showing up in their feed. Like think about how busy you are. And if I said to you right now, like what realtor do you know in Arkansas? What realtor do you know in Northern California? Oh, it's me now. What realtor do you know in Kansas, right? You're going to be like, I know someone, but I can't think of who it is. It's because they're not in front of you. And so how do you get in front of people? So what I do when I am going to do a lead generation block on social, so we have theme days on my team. Like I don't lead generate every day on social. I do expireds, I do social media, I work on my database. Like I have different things I do each day of the week. Well, when I do social, the way it works is I go to a high producing post that I have. So say that like you had a birthday or an anniversary or something like that, right? And you have a decent amount of comments. Maybe you have like 30 comments or 50 comments. People think that the only thing that matters is the comments you have on social, but in reality, your likes that you have is a total missing opportunity. Okay. And so what I do is like, say that I had an anniversary and Ryan and I went to Tahoe and everyone's like, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Well, I comment to my people who commented on my post because that's in my time block time, right? My 2 times throughout the day where I go back and I comment. So my people are commented that comment, I comment back. But what you don't realize is those likes are literally a golden opportunity. There's people that are like, hey, I see what you're doing. I'm watching you. And people just look at it like a vanity metric, like, oh, I got 100 likes on this post. What I look at it as an opportunity to deepen that relationship because you have these like quiet little voyeurs that are like watching what you're doing, but they're like not confident enough to like say something to you. So what I do is I go to a high producing post. I click on the likes and then I send them a direct message. Now, I like to be proactive and I want to make it super personal. So what I would do is like I would reach out and I would say that so I see Brad, he's like the first one on my screen. So Brad, can you tell me where you live? You can unmute.
There we go. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes.
I'm in Langley near Vancouver, BC.
Okay, cool. So Vancouver, BC. And then what's like something just happened in your world? Do you guys go on a vacation? Do you have a kid graduate? Anything like anything cool happen at Christmas?
We had a nice relaxing vacation on Vancouver Island with the parents.
Awesome. With your parents. Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So what's going to happen is say that I make an anniversary post and Heidi likes my post or Heidi comments on my post and she's like, happy anniversary, girl. And then Brad likes my post. Well, I'm going to comment back to Heidi because she's commented to me. I'm like, thank you so much, Heidi. We had the best time, right? Hope you had a great Christmas. And then when I do a lead generation block, I click on my likes and I see Brad. I'm like, oh, Brad, I haven't talked to him in so long. Gosh, I wonder what he's doing. So before I send him a message, I'm going to go on his page and I'm going to look at something super like personal that happened in his world. And I'm going to see, okay, he lives in Vancouver and he just got back from a vacation with his parents. And so I would send him a private message. So he likes my post, guys. I'm sending him a private message. I'm not commenting on something. I'm sending him a private message. I'm like, hey, Brad, thanks so much for connecting with me. Anniversary post. We had the best time in Tahoe. Oh my gosh, I saw you just got back from vacation with your parents and that looked incredible. Do you guys have any plans coming up for the new year? So I go something very specific on his page to show that I paid attention. I looked, I'm connected with him. And then I'm like, do you have any plans for the rest of summer, spring, winter, fall? Because we just have the new year. I'm going to say new year, but you can say winter. This script, you guys changed the game for me because you know what happened? This is how my referrals blew up because I went deeper with connections. And what happens is when I ask Brad about him, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to ask about me. And now Brad and I are in communication and we're going to go back and forth, back and forth. And I'm going to get to know Brad on a deeper level. I'm going to be like, dude, this is a cool freaking guy. Like, I would want to hang out with this guy. Right. So then I'm going to say something to him. And sometimes it's the same day. Sometimes it's the same week. Sometimes it's the same month. Like, you decide. But I say to him, gosh, Brad, I feel like we really have aligned in our personal lives, which makes me think we'd align in our business lives. I don't have a great referral partner in Vancouver, BC. Like, do you have one in Northern California? So that's how I build these relationships. I get to know them personally. I see if I like them. If I don't like him, if Brad like sucks, I'm going to be like, all right, cool. Like, have a good one. Wishing you the best rest of the year. But like, if he's cool, I'm going to want to be a referral partner with him. And that's how I deepen those relationships. Okay.
When
Yes.
Brad liked so Brad was following you, so he saw your post.
Yeah.
Do you wait to see if Brad's your vibe and if you're aligned with Brad before you follow him back?
I would scroll on his page and see if he's how he talks and what he posts about and what he communicates. Like, there are people that like my content and I go on their page and I'm like, oh, I would never be friends with this person. I skip over him. But if I feel like a vibe, like I'm like, Brad seems like a cool dude, then I would connect with him. Yeah.
You better be cool, Brad. She's coming to your page.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, think about how many times you click on someone's page and you're like, ugh. Nope, gone. Absolutely gone. I have zero time or tolerance for people that are like, especially when all the political stuff's going down. No, thank you. Like, you'll never know ever who I vote for. Never. It's not something I talk about on social media. I don't think it's something like I want to be able to resonate with all of my clients and add value to all of my clients. And so, yeah, I don't stress on that. Tyler said, what does that look like with a buyer seller lead? So that's a great question. I would reach out to them if they like my post. I'm going to reach out to them with something super important on their world. Like if their kid just graduated from kindergarten or something like that. Right. And then what I'm going to do is, connect with them, go back and forth. And then I'll be like, so what do you do for work? And I'll ask about their job. And then it's natural transition to be able to say, like, I'm a realtor. If you ever need anything, like, let me know. And then boom, I shift right back into something personal. It's like a light sales, not the heavy, like those idiots that just reach out to you on social. Like, you want to buy or sell in real estate? Like, get out of here. You're not, that's slimy. That's why we have a bad reputation.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that we're getting short on time and I want to make sure we have Q&A. So I'm going to keep jamming. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do is you are going to be intentional. So right now, the current algorithm, guys, you're only able to see like 7 to 10% of your friends' content. 7 to 10%. Like, how crazy is that? 7 to 10%. Think about how many people you have on social with Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. The rule is if you're not seeing them, they're not seeing you. So how do you get in front of the people who actually could refer you business, but they're not seeing your content, right? So the way that you do it is what I call my top 25. So every single month I take pen to paper. I still am like old school. Like if you guys saw my, literally like my line of Post-its that I have everywhere and like my notepad right next to me. I take pen to paper and I write down, I go through social and I'm pulling 25 names of people that I'm already friends with on social, but I'm not seeing their content. Okay. 25 names. Then this is, and I like I said, I'm a theme girl. So I might go like 25 realtors from around the country this month. Next month, I'm going to do 25 local business owners in my community. Next month, I'm going to do 25 past clients, right? So you pick who your 25 people are. Then this is my rule. And someone asked me what I do before I make a post. So you have to prime the algorithm, wake it up so that when you make a post, it's like, oh, she's doing something, right? So we talked about doing the tools. This is called my rule of 555. So 5 minutes before I'm going to make a post, 5 minutes before I make a reel, 5 minutes before I get on social to add my contribution, I pick 5 people from my list of my 25 and I make a comment on their post with 5 words or more. So it's the rule of 555. 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. And who are those 5 people? Friends, they're from your list of your top 25. So if you want to get in front of the people who are most likely to refer you business, you have to stay top of mind. They already are friends with you. They already like you. They already trust you, but they're not thinking about you. That's why I can't think about who's in Arkansas. That's why I can't think about who's in Kansas, because they're not in front of me. This is you being proactive in your business through social media and getting in front of the people who are most likely to refer you business. And I like to do the themes: 25 realtors from around the country, 25 local business owners, 25 past clients, 25 people from high school. Like, these are the people that you want to be in front of, because all of a sudden they're like, oh crap, like Rachel, oh my gosh, like I totally didn't think of her. And then this is how I'm telling you, over 100 referrals every single year. This will change your freaking game. I have people, Kim's in Kansas, send your referrals. But this is the thing, is like, people don't realize how powerful this simple rule of 555 is. And I have people that coach with me that they're like, Rachel, I'm like, okay, how'd it go last week? And then they coach and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed because I have so many comments. Like, I didn't realize how much this would grow, but your story views goes up, your likes go up, your comments go up, your shares go up, and then your referrals start to come in. So let's talk highly freaking shareable content, kids. So you can tell I'm passionate about this topic. Like, I love social. I have such big plans for this year for what I'm doing with my business, and I want to help you grow yours. These are the things that are going to get you more clients in your business, okay? The 5 best dog parks in Vancouver, BC, the top brunch spots in Vancouver, BC, top happy hour spots you need to hit, 5 best date night locations, day in the life of a realtor. These are the sexy things. Everybody wants the 5, the 4, this, the 2, that, like, everybody wants this. And what's cool, what I'm really passionate about, is highly freaking shareable content. Because if you share it, you're the person that everyone's going to come to learn about the local community. By the by, I happen to help buy or sell real estate. I help you build wealth. What you'll notice is, like, this has nothing to do with real estate. And I want you to go on my Instagram and I want you to look at a reel that I post. And every freaking time that I post, you're going to see me have this little bio, which I'm going to put it in the chat right now so you guys can see what it is. And it's a shortcut in my phone where I type in bio and this pops up. This is my little paragraph about who I am as a person. The algorithm knows me. They know who my audience is. I have all 5 of my passions in here. They know I'm a social media coach. They know I lost 50 pounds. They know that I'm obsessed with my husband. Like, they know I'm a mama. What it does is it tells the algorithm who my audience is and brings them to my page. Every single time I post, I do this. And if you guys need help with something like this, I'm super happy to do a one-on-one with you. So one of the things that I do right now, and I'm just going to give you a quick little pitch and then we'll jump into Q&A. Amy, what time do we have to, like, stop talking?
So my time zone is 12:55.
Okay, so we've got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that I do is I help you optimize your bio. So one of the things that I'm doing right now, and Amy said I could share this with you, is 50 pieces of content. So one thing that I'm sitting down and I'm offering is, it's called 50 pieces of content for you. So you set up a time with me, we sit down and I'm going to help you pick your 5 pillars of content. We're going to optimize your bio. So this thing right here, I'm going to help you go through and re-optimize your bio for the algorithm so that the exact client that you're looking for is going to find your page. Then we're going to sit down and I'm going to give you, we're going to create a plan that works for you with your lifestyle. And then I'm going to give you 50 actual pieces of content that you can post on your social media that has the hooks, that has the connections, that has everything you're looking for. So it's going to tell you exactly what you should post, so like a hook. So I just did one of these with a girl in New Jersey, and she used to be I forget her name. Anyway, she was on a show called Mr. Belvedere, and she was the daughter. And she was like, I just feel weird about it because I don't know if I should talk about it or lean into it. And I was like, girlfriend, you're going to lean into this and we're going to help you build your business. So when I created the content for her, one post that I wrote was, I said, ever wonder what happened to, Shannon from Mr. Belvedere? And we do a picture of it. And then the second picture is she's selling houses in New Jersey. And, and so it's like, everyone's going to wonder what happened to her because it was a hit sitcom show. She still makes residual checks from that. And I was like, girl, let me help you with this. So literally, I'm going to give you 50 pieces of content, posts that you can put on your page that is going to get you massive interaction, connect with people. We're going to make them all around your 5 pillars of content, but I'm going to create it for you. So your shareable stuff, I'm going to do that for you. So if you guys want to do that, you can either just send me a message on social and say 50 pieces of content and I'll send you the link, or you can do this QR code. But it's a one-on-one coaching call and it's like next level. It's so fun. I have 3 of them today, and it's like, I love it because then it takes 50 posts away off your plate for the year.
Wow.
The other one that I want to share with you is weekly reels. So every single week, if people are like, gosh, I just don't know what I'm doing on social. Every single week we've got 200 and I think 14 agents right now doing this with us. But every single week I pull a trending reel in real estate. Well, I pull a trending reel on Instagram and then I tweak it for real estate. So I actually come up with the post, I come up with the video and everything. All you have to do is send in your raw footage. This is very simple. And then you send it to my team. We edit it. I put the caption on. I put the hook on there for you. Literally the entire thing is done for you. When it gets back to you, all you have to do is post it. The trending audio, your hashtags, your geo hashtags, the caption, the hook, the call to action, everything is done. And the agents who do this, like their engagement is literally up like 297%, 400%. And it's $97 a month for a reel every single week. So if you're like, well, I want to do a reel every week, but I'm not sure how to do that, you can also just send me a message for weekly reels. We'll go from there. Areas I serve. I have another awesome product that I just released, but I don't want to get too much into it. If you guys are looking to be on the map for your location, I just released this last week. You can go on my social. I'm going to post a reel about it today, actually, as soon as we're done here. But it's really cool. It's under $50 a month. It's totally custom to you and your brand. You're going to give me the 5 sub-cities you serve, as well as your main area. You get a reel and you get a static graphic for the areas that you serve. So those are 3 things that we're offering right now. And that was fast and furious. If you need anything in the social space, really just anything you need, like reach out to me. But coaching is definitely my jam. If you want to build a business through social this year and you need help, I would be so honored to be your girl.
I love that.
What else, Amy?
You brought so much value to us today, even outside of the one-on-one stuff, but thank you for sharing that. So anybody who wants to take advantage. A couple of questions. So Lisa asked, is the 555 for Facebook or Instagram or both?
It's for both. It's both. It's really just to wake up the algorithm. So like on either platform, the 555 works beautifully.
Okay. Somebody else is saying that they have a personal page, a hobby page, and a realtor page. If I combine them, will it confuse or mess up?
It is what you want them combined. Three pages, it's so much freaking work for you. It's exhausting. Put them all in one and have those be your pillars of content. There's no reason to have 3 pages.
People want to follow people and they want to see your real life. They don't want to just see your realtor page.
100%. Yes.
Did you answer, Susanna? Do you engage via DMs before posting? I can't remember.
Yeah, so that's the 555.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm like reading, not thinking. Is a post, or is it a story? And curious how many actual posts you're referring to versus stories. Or today your cadence, your 1 reel, 1 business, and 2 personal, that was posts, correct?
Those are posts. Yeah. So stories, like the current algorithm is 10 stories in 24 hours is like kind of the ideal situation that the algorithm is looking for. But it can be like a meme that you share counts. You could talk for 30 seconds about like what you ate for breakfast, and that counts as 3 or 2, so then you're at 3 for the day. So if you could do 10 stories in 24 hours, that's different. What I was talking about specifically is posts. I do believe stories are really important because that's your behind the scenes piece. The algorithm hasn't changed enough yet for me to share, but every time the algorithm changes, I do a full webinar on all the algorithm changes. Like we did a big one from 2023 to 2024. We will do the changes from 2024 to 2025, and I'll make sure Amy has that information. But they're really, really pushing reels for storytelling and really like making sure you take people along the journey instead of just because like the hard sale stuff, they're kicking that out right now. They don't want you just like selling on social. They want you really connecting and sharing a story. So people are so much more likely to engage if you have something that makes them feel something than just like selling them something.
A book that I'm rereading actually right now on the marketing front is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. I think it's Donald Miller. That would be a really good one for anybody that is looking to really try to like reposition your marketing and telling a story and sharing the experience behind the scenes. How should we combine our personal accounts when we have real estate posts already on the other account?
Scratch it. You're most likely going to have more information, more followers, more connection on your personal. You can say in your stories that you're going to be combining your pages. And if they want to follow you, just to follow this page. But most likely you're going to have way more followers on your personal page, and you're just going to scratch your business page and go the 80-20 principle. Don't stress about the fact that like you're like, oh, but I have, they're going to see all the sales that I had before. If you do the 50 pieces of content with me, we'll re-optimize it. Anyone who has like multiple pages or you want to figure this out, like that is the best use of your money and your time, is to do the 50 pieces of content and to like have me fine tune your page for you. Cause we do an audit. We literally are going to go on your page, and you have to have a little bit of thick skin, but we're going to like tear it apart. And then we're going to build you back with a system and a plan so that you really can get referrals through social media this year. Cause that's the point of it for me, is like helping you build a business through social. Like on my team, we have 4 legs to our lead generation chair. I want them to have 4, like a strong foundation, 4 different things that can sustain their business. One of them is going to be their database, the people who like them, who love them, who want to refer business to them. On my real estate team, one of them is social media, because you can bet if you're on my real estate team, you better have a good social media presence, because we teach you how to do it. And then we have open houses. I believe that every realtor should be doing open houses, which you're literally standing in a building where people come to you and say like, I want what you have. And then depending upon your level of real estate, if you're new, like dialing and door knocking is really, really good. Maybe you like business to business investor relationships, like you can figure out what that looks like. But social should absolutely be a leg of everyone's business in 2025.
Frank's asking, how are the referrals actually coming in? Are they coming in like as DMs, as calls? Yeah.
It's usually direct message. I always ask, how did you hear about me? Like I always say, how did you find me? How did you hear about me? And like one lady, she was working with and no offense if anybody is one, she was working with a Redfin agent and was just like having really poor communication, was just like super frustrated. And she typed in like best Roseville realtor, and I came up on Google, and then my third link down was Instagram, and she watched like 4 different reels on Instagram, and then she sent me a message through Instagram. And I was like, how'd you find me? She's like, well, originally Google, but then I went on your Instagram. And I'm like, okay. So, but the Instagram's what got her, because she was watching reels and she's like, oh my gosh, like I have a nephew named Henry. And it all of a sudden I was like a real person for her. You know what I mean?
Somebody said, actually, this is a good question. Are you posting directly on Instagram and then letting it just auto post to Facebook, or are you posting each separate?
Really good question. You never want them connected for your posts, because it kills the algorithm. You're rewarded for your time on the platform. So if it's auto posting for you, you don't get that watch time. You don't get that reward. So I will always post on Facebook first if it's a post, and then on Instagram. But the reason for that is I'm wordy, and you only have 2,200 characters on Instagram. And sometimes I have a post where I want to share more. So I have to like make sure that I edit it for Instagram. But my reels, I have connected. My reels are connected. My posts are not connected, and my stories are connected.
Interesting. Somebody said, are you doing everything public on Facebook, or some friends? Oh, and friends of friends. So it's like the settings for your Facebook posts.
So for me, everything is public, everything is shareable to everyone, but I think that is a personal choice. Some people are not comfortable sharing their kids. That is up to you. When you do your pillars of content, like if you, like I have a client that I coached with, and she, her husband was in law enforcement. And so she's like, I don't feel comfortable posting my kids on social. I was like, no worries. So we just came up with a different pillar of content for her that wasn't her children, that she felt comfortable sharing.
Mary's asking, is posting separately on Meta sufficient when they ask you in the business suite? I don't think I am following the question. Do you know what that means?
Not either.
Is posting separately on Meta sufficient? Mary, do you mind just either unmuting yourself and clarifying?
Thank you. When I use Meta Business Suite, right now, currently, Facebook and Instagram are connected, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then so my heart just sank a little bit. But they ask you if you want to customize the posts for each platform.
Yes.
So
that would be fine. That would be fine, because then it's still going to be separate and different. What you don't want to do is have everything connected to where it just, because then it's like everything's the same and they're not going to reward you. They know if it's different, because then they know you took the time to make it different. And especially if you're using their business suite, you're paying them. So you're going to be just fine.
Thank you so much.
Your money.
Okay, so last question, because this is the thing that we came here for, is understanding referrals. So last question, are you asking for the referral, or is it just happening organically because you are engaging and building a relationship or are you actually asking?
Both. It's both. So like I don't usually reach out to someone on social and say, "Hey, do you have a referral for me? Like who do you know who's looking to buy or sell?" I don't do that. And even for my clients, I don't reach out and say, "Do you have a referral for me today?" Every time we do a client event. So we do family photos in the park twice a year. I have a really good client event webinar if you guys need it. But I do family photos in the park twice a year. And what I always say when I deliver the photos is I say, as always, our business grows by referral. We appreciate any and all you send our way. And we usually get it. So like literally like burn that into your brain. As always, we appreciate your referrals or as always, we appreciate your referrals. What did I just say? What the hell? I say it 900 times a day. I don't even know what I just said. You guys, what the heck just happened? Mom brain.
I was just writing down though about your client event webinar. So
Oh, thank you, Mark. I love you. Our business grows through referrals. We appreciate any and all you send
that's such a
our way.
great line.
You're my
Yeah,
hero. Thank you, Mark. Yeah.
powerful.
So our business grows by referral. We appreciate any and all you send our way. And then we will do a contest every now and again to push the realtors. And we're like, oh my gosh, we're doing a contest right now. Like, our goal, I need to get 10 referrals in the next month in order to win. Who do you know? But when we reach out for like a direct hit like that, we are so consistent with staying in front of them and adding value. I have a database campaign that I go through where it's 33 times throughout the year I'm adding value to my database. So I have like a full database campaign, and it's a balance of graphics, some client events, and we do a balance of all the different things that we share, but all of it is making me the local expert. Most of it doesn't cost me money because I really watch my P&L. And when I'm doing that, it's like when I reach out to them to actually ask for business, it's not awkward and weird because I'm so consistently reaching out to them. It's not like, oh, I haven't heard from you. It's like, oh, I heard from you last month. And every time I hear from them, I'm giving them stuff. I'm adding value. I'm sharing something hyper local. They're like, dang, this is good. And I tell them too, like, so I have a vendor sheet in my Byron's listing consultation, and it literally has hairstylists, vacation destination planners, painters, home inspectors. It has everything because I want to be their one-stop shop. And I tell them, like, when I send out my like testimonial for them, like at the end of the transaction, I ask for the review and the testimonial. I say to them, like, please know that now you're a part of our Rachel Adamsley Group family. You're going to be hearing from me throughout the year. Like we do family photos in the park. We rent out a movie theater for date night. I tell them what to expect because they're going to be hearing from me unless they sucked and I don't want to work with them. Then I drop them from my database. But you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, so good. Yes, we will keep the chat open for a few moments, no problem at all. As we wrap up, for realtors to drop their Instagram handles to connect, absolutely. We can certainly do that. Rachel, thank you so, so, so much. Holy cow.
You're
Talk
welcome.
about 55 minutes of absolute fire and value. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for delivering so much value to our community today. We appreciate you. Do you want to quickly share your screen one more time and put up your QR codes?
Yes. And I just put it in the chat too for you guys, but
okay. Oh, you did. Okay, perfect.
yeah. So 50 pieces of content. Literally though, if you guys want any of this, go to my Instagram and type in 50 pieces of content or weekly reels, and I'll just send you the link to sign up for them. We're booking out the end of January and February right now for 50 pieces of content. We're pretty booked out for the next like 2 weeks. But this one is like, if you want to build a business through social, this is the one I would say like jump on it, because we're going to do an audit. We're going to re-optimize your bio, and then I'm going to give you content. So this is like best bang for your buck.
Okay.
Weekly reels is going to keep you consistent for the rest of the year. So like every single week you get a reel. And again, it is so plug and play because I create the reel. One that I just did, was about home inspectors. Guys, has 33,000 views. Home inspectors, but I do it in a way that it's like sexy. You get the hook. I know how to do the trending audio. Like if you're struggling with getting your algorithm to see more clients and to get referrals and to get your views up, like this is definitely consistency, the one I'd suggest. And then areas I serve, like this is so fun. It's freaking $50 and you'll have it for the rest of your life. And it's the areas you serve. And like, if you're in a Facebook group and everyone's tagging Joe Schmo and he's 2 hours away, you're like, no, this is actually the areas I serve. And you give them the graphic. Like that's what's helped me like really maintain in the Facebook groups is having a graphic like this, where I would say, this is the area that I serve. And then again, like, you know, the little shortcuts, I'll just put my shortcut in here to show you guys what it looks like. But like, if I type in, okay. So this is like a shortcut that if I'm in a Facebook group and someone says like, oh, you should work with Rachel. I have this template and it's like, hey, thanks so much for your trust in me. And then I tag the person who tagged me. I say who I am, and then I say top percent in the area, and then I put the city in that they're asking about. And then I have my little call to action of who I am. And then I send them my graphic. So I have like this little sales pitch and then my graphic, and it's like nobody can compete against that because I'm so dialed in my system. Like, again, like systems are my jam. So anything you guys need in that space, like I'm super happy to help. And honestly, Amy, like I'm so glad I skipped the gym for you because this was totally worth it and your people are amazing.
Promise me you're going to replace it though. If you erase it, you got to replace it. So
I know. Brian was like, when are we going to go? I was like, well, we're not going today, but we will go for a walk.
There you go. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Guys, we will be back again next Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern. Our guest is Chris Smith, author of The Conversion Code, co-founder of Curator. They just exited that opportunity that they built. And most of all, he just launched his new company, Ella, the only email marketing platform for real estate agents. So if you want to learn more about copywriting and email marketing, join us next week. Chris Smith will be our guest speaker. Rachel, thank you. Appreciate you as always. So glad to call you a friend. Have a great day, you guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me today.